we are going to be talking about some of the hardest landscapes on Earth. So the first one being the Drake Passage. Named after Sir Francis Drake, this place is known as one of the most dangerous seas on Earth. But it's not quite as intimidating anymore. Now that GPS and navigation systems are very well advanced, the only ongoing threat is violent storms and rough seas. While crossing, people spot many animals, from minke and fin whales, along with humpbacks and orcas, to the uncommon dolphin. But krill and other small organisms are far more concentrated in this area. Nonetheless, this is quite a sight to see from Ushuaia, the southernmost city in the world, through the Strait of Magellan and past Tierra del Fuego, in the boundary between the Atlantic Ocean and the gargantuan Pacific Ocean, before reaching the outstretched Antarctic Peninsula. The second one is the Bering Strait. Known to have water that rises and falls about 30 feet on a normal day, this sea is infamous for violent storms and extreme waves. The water is a mind-numbing temperature, yet many animals are entirely unperturbed, as organisms from bowhead whales to walruses, all the way to minuscule crabs reside in this area. Global warming and the reduction of pack ice around this area and the world is causing water and noise pollution to increase, making whales and other animals unsafe in the open waters, where vessels and ships can impact directly into them unknowingly. Tuft puffins are some of the most prominent seabirds in the area, roaming the North Pacific Ocean, yet the Bering Strait is quite shallow, showing how utterly dangerous even a shallow stretch of water can be. Third one is the Sahara Desert. This area, the largest hot desert on Earth, stretches from western Morocco and Mauritania to Egypt and Sudan on the eastern edge of Africa. Sand was brought to the area over centuries by erosion forces from the Sahel, a massive grassland that's located to the south, from the countries of Mali and Niger to South Sudan, as well as other places. Some of the hardy inhabitants include the Berber tribe and others. The mountain range to the north, the Atlantis, stretch from Tunisia to western Morocco and this area. The Maghreb occupies a vast quarter of Africa. Some of the animals that live here are antelope, fennec foxes, and camels, which are very beneficial to nomadic tribes due to their ability to store water. In Arabic, the name Sahara means desert. The next one is Antarctica. The fifth largest continent, this landmass was the last to be reached and is only inhabited by a minute number of people, far less than 10,000. Nonetheless, its highest peak, Vishen Massif, in the Ellsworth Mountains, stretches across the areas near the Antarctic Peninsula, and transatlantic mountains stretch from coast to coast. Got a little tongue twisted there. Disputes have run for decades over whether there is a fifth body of water, the Southern Ocean, that surrounds the continent, and that decision has been left up to people to decide themselves. However, taking anything from the continent is banned by the Antarctic Treaty, and this is violated by land claims from 7 countries, including Argentina, Chile, Australia, New Zealand, France, Norway, and the UK. The coldest place there is Russian Vostok Station, and the South Pole averages about negative 49 degrees Celsius. Antarctica continued. I swear. Technology sometimes. Just go forward, thing. No, not that far. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes technology doesn't like to work. Alright. Penguins migrate from the coast inland and back to feed them. Their families and seals live off the coastline. A very interesting part of this continent is that summer is light for 6 months and winter is dark for 6 months due to the Antarctic Circle. But the Antarctic Peninsula does in fact jut outside of this area. Alright, next one is Beijing. This may be confusing as to why the capital of China is in one of the hardest landscapes and dangerous landscapes list, but the most China is the most populous country in the world and is on this list because there's overpopulation and air quality, and there's also unemployment and malnutrition. So the air quality in Beijing has historically been terrible, mainly due to burning of fossil fuels such as coal and the manufacturing of motorized vehicles. Yet their air quality index has dropped in the past several years due to multiple reasons. First, their everyday usage of transport has been consolidated, which can help the environment, and they've removed coal-burning power plants. Finally, China has been one of the few countries to be rapidly increasing their forest cover, an important way to halt global warming and tracks of the pollution. And the last one overall is just pollution. So out of the world's most polluting countries, China is first and the United States is second, polluting half as much, before India, which pollutes half as much as the US, and then Russia and Japan. New Zealand is the world's cleanest country with the lowest amount of air pollution, and the world's cities with the lowest pollution in the air are in Sweden. Some ways to reduce pollution in our backyards, our neighborhoods, and around the world are by reducing the number of trips in cars. So you want to carpool or ride bikes or something that doesn't pollute or even pollutes less. You want to lessen or cease fireplace and wooden stove use, and think about the use of resources. The air we breathe is polluted by lead, carbon monoxide, and ozone, among other pollutants. In 2015, it was predicted that the air quality in China was so horrific that it causes nearly 1 million deaths per year in that country alone. Out of all children under age 5, about 3 million die per year due to environmental issues. And that is it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, watch some of the other videos. Subscribe, hit the like bell. Top right corner are some suggested videos. Bottom right corner, you can subscribe. And yeah, see ya.